What did you go through in your childhood that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy? My mom is the most entitled beach I've ever met. She was the type to believe that she should be handed money simply for existing. So by the time I was 10 years old, me and my older sister Zara, who was 11, had spent our entire lives living in a trailer in the middle of nowhere. And it was around this time that mom's companionship service really took off. You know, lonely elderly people, widowers with no family, seniors whose kids never visit. She started taking us to senior centers and retirement homes, introducing us as rental granddaughters. She bought us matching dresses, taught us to call strangers grandpa, said we were providing a valuable service, started scheduling us for 3 to 4 visits per day to maximize income. By 11 years old, I was learning to dodge wandering hands and force smiles, while my older sister was 12 years old and had completely checked out, just going through the motions like a doll. You see, she always gave in to my mom's demands more than me. She would start her morning by putting on her granddaughter costume without complaint and practiced her sweet voice in the mirror, so her bookings took off before mine. Mom used to brag to other parents at the senior center about how natural Zara was, how the old men requested her specifically. I remember when Zara got her first $500 tip from a regular client. Mom told her she was the best daughter a mother could ask for, and even took her out shopping. I'm so glad you're not like your difficult sister, who can't even pretend to care for Her backhanded comments were designed to hurt me, but instead they just made me feel bad for Zara, because I was forced to watch as she became more and more empty inside. Eventually she had so many regular clients requesting her that I couldn't even compete anymore, so I started making myself less appealing, talking back, refusing to sit on laps, accidentally spilling drinks, and I tried to wake Zara up, hoping it would make something click in her head. Don't you feel gross when Mr. Peterson touches your hair? I'd ask her at night, or sometimes I'd show her the scratches I made on my arms and ask if she wanted to talk, but she'd just stare at the wall. And by the time she had turned 15, they had serviced over 1,000 lonely seniors, and Mom had business cards printed up. Then came the next wave of Mom's BS, the premium packages. I still remember the day she came home with new matching nightgowns. She was showing them off while explaining the sleepover service for extra lonely clients. My mom made Zara model hers, and that evening she literally threw a wine party for potential clients' families. Not for her birthday, not for any major celebration. It was solely to network with adult children who felt guilty about abandoning their parents. Over the next few weeks, Zara became Mom's premium service provider. Overnight stays, weekend trips, live-in arrangements during holidays. By this point, I was 13 years old and had learned to hurt myself enough to avoid bookings since the beginning. And even though I knew it was wrong, all I wanted was my mom's approval. So I agreed to take some day visits, but made sure to come back with complaints about behavior. And she thanked me, but that was it, because it was already too late. Zara had regular clients who specifically requested her, and to Mom's network, I would always just be the difficult daughter. At the senior centers, staff would pull me aside and whisper that Zara was so patient, so sweet. Other times I'd see her walking out of rooms with that 1,000-yard stare, adjusting her dress. And I didn't even have a sister anymore, because anytime I tried to talk to her, she would just say she was tired and turn away. Fast forward to when I turned 17, and I finally moved out for college. I changed all my contact information and moved to Jamestown in Tennessee, somewhere no one would recognize me. I finally got my fresh start. I stopped flinching when older men talked to me. I met friends who had normal families. I stopped checking my arms for fresh cuts every morning. And a few years later, when I was doing my routine check of Mom's business Facebook page, I saw that she had stopped posting about Zara. This was strange because Zara was still her star employee, and the comments were full of clients asking for bookings. Part of me was extremely worried, but mostly I was curious as heck. So much so that I ended up going back home for Thanksgiving that year. The second my mom opened the door, she slapped me across the face. "You selfish brat! How could you have abandoned your family business?" I sighed and just shoved past her, completely expecting this response. "Zara, get out here. Show your sister what you've been working on." That's when I heard it. A flat, emotionless voice from the living room. "I can't right now." I walked in and saw Zara sitting on the couch, staring at nothing. Her wrists were wrapped in bandages. She looked like a ghost. As I sat next to her, she finally looked at me with those empty eyes. "Mr. Williams had a heart attack last week during a visit. She couldn't finish. Her words were hollow, and she was practically catatonic. Mom says I need to be ready for the memorial. His family wants me to speak about what a good grandfather he was. I was ready to make our mom pay. Full story on channel, link below.